In this video, I want to talk about how you go about managing your network and connections, because how you go about doing this can be very important. And right now, you might find yourself starting to get a little bit excited about the prospect of LinkedIn marketing. Perhaps you've looked up Barack Obama and found that you have a connection in common. "I can talk to President Obama," you're no doubt exclaiming. But while this is a nice thought, the reality is unfortunately somewhat different. You can't just leap in and start talking to Barack Obama, because despite that contact you have in common, you're still not best mates. Well, unless of course you are. Even the contacts that are direct connections are not necessarily going to regard you as anything other than a complete stranger. Being friends on LinkedIn doesn't make you friends in real life, especially for a major player who's likely to get contacted by about 1 billion smaller fry on a daily basis. Likewise, that kid who used to pick his nose in history, well, he probably doesn't want to introduce you to Obama either, especially if you used to tease him. The point is, to be meaningful on LinkedIn, a contact has to be meaningful in real life. It has to be someone who owes you a favor, someone who genuinely likes you, or someone who engages with your content. Likewise, you need to think about your contacts in terms of who they are and what they mean to you. The way you approach your best mate is probably going to be a bit different from the way you'd approach Professor Stephen Hawking. Likewise, the way you approach someone in the fitness industry is likely to be different from the way you approach someone in the programming industry. So you need to manage and organize your contacts, and that means thinking carefully about who they are and how important they are to you. At the same time, you need to maintain your relationships and keep them meaningful. Fortunately, LinkedIn has some very useful tools for doing both. One example of this is the suggested contacts, where LinkedIn will alert you to birthdays, to promotions, and to other meaningful events in your contacts' lives. And this is a very handy way to stay in touch with someone and to stay on their radar if you genuinely know them. If you want to take this further, then try using the excellent 500 Plus utility, which you can access here at 500plus.com. And you come to the page, and then you can sign up with LinkedIn or log in with LinkedIn and then follow the on-screen instructions. And this is a tool that allows you to easily stay in touch with contacts by alerting you to contacts you haven't contacted for a while so they don't forget you. At the same time, 500 Plus also helps you to organize those contacts in meaningful and useful ways. Another tool built into LinkedIn itself is the options to add tags. What you do, let's come up here, is you click here on connections, and unfortunately, because this is a brand new account that I've set up for the purpose of making this video, I can't actually demonstrate this. But once you've got some connections already in LinkedIn, if you click here on connections, you'll be presented with a list of people you know, and these are already in order of how recently you've communicated with them, and you can sort them into an alternative order and filter them in various ways as well. And at the same time, you can add tags, which essentially allow you to categorize each person in terms of the way you know them, the industry that they're in, or anything else that might be useful. However you do it, the trick is to make sure that you spend time actually tending to your connections rather than just viewing them as in the bag as soon as you're connected. And just one final thing at the end of this video here. There's been a lot of talk over the years of LinkedIn improving its own contact management utilities. In fact, it's been implied that it could eventually become a fully fledged CMS, which would make a lot of sense for the direction of the business, so stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for the next video in this series, because I'll tell you how you go about marketing yourself and your business.